Beyond those two things, I have finished Persona 5.
Finished.
Yes. I want to say 137 hours.
No, that's more or less than when you finished 4.
That is...
I think it's around the same.
No, okay, I remember P3 was 127.
Yeah, I remember you telling me
I
P3.
forget what it was for 4. I forget what my save was on 4 completely.
Okay.
But, yeah, so I'm done. I just need to go back and, like, I guess...
Clean up.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to do the New Game Plus. I'm just going to YouTube the social links
that
I haven't completed exactly. And yeah, I guess, once Pat's done, we'll have our big proper spoiler cast and stuff. But what I can say is that
well, okay, how about favorite Persona? Not favorite? Like, where is it?
Oh man, well,
this seems to be a loaded question.
Okay, yeah, the favorite Persona. I mean,
game.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. I thought you meant demon.
No.
I was fuck, dude. There's a lot of them.
Okay, no.
And
I meant
right now, my pick is going to Choginga Gurren Lagann.
Sure.
So,
no, of the games.
Yeah. It's. So here's the thing: is they all have different strengths.
Yeah.
Right. And I think. Oh God, and Arsene is such a good fucking design. Holy fuck, what a good design. Anyway, no, they all have different strengths. And I think that this game has the absolute best, like,
style,
middle of the game,
right.
like, plot and reveal and moment-to-moment story and adventure, right?
Okay.
Like, your journey through the start, your journey from the start through the middle of the game is absolutely the absolute best that of the 3 that I've played.
All right.
I feel like the culprit in 4 is still
the
better.
Best.
It's still the best as far as, like, that's your bad guy goes, right? I still think that's a better character. I love so much about what that character represents. And
because I don't know a whole bunch, but if I was to glean anything from a bunch of friends I've also been in Persona 5, they're like, I was a little cooler on the cast overall, like the cast of characters from 5 over 4.
I love this cast. I really like this cast a lot. I feel that, like, I don't even want to start, like, ranking them.
Yeah.
Because I like them all as characters, and I feel that they benefited from the modern game having, better writing, more tech to show off their emotions and expressions.
Right.
Like they benefit from time, showing them off in their
technology.
Exactly, and showing them off in a better light than, say the P3 characters got.
Yeah, that's fair. To say.
Back on an older console. So, but yeah, but to get what I was getting at is that I think, the 3 games, like, all have, like, a standout feature, and I think P5 has the best, like, main story. I think P4 has the best villain, and I think P3 has the best finale.
Is there anything in P5 that you felt was just, like, actually stood out as maybe weaker? Like, or is it all just, like, everything was just fine, and then the other games just had something better? Like you just said, the villain.
No, so the villain in P5 is excellent.
Okay.
But the villain in P4 is perfection.
Okay. All right.
You know what I mean? Like that, like, it's so good. It's very hard to top that. And rightfully so, they didn't. But there's some really good stuff in there. Some odd but unexpected major heavy references to Death Note throughout this story. Yeah.
Well, way to strike while the iron is hot.
It's interesting, but it feels like not like a reference, like, in the sense of like, hey guys, look, but it's more like this is a send up to this type of character.
Okay.
In the way that Q is like a send up to your old robo detective
that cliche
from like the fucking 70s, right?
Yeah.
And your Kikaider style faces.
Okay.
Like, so, you have
so it's not like, hey, Death Note, hey, that's
it's just
hot.
It's just like here's a reference to this character that existed once upon a time.
Fair enough.
Benimaru is a reference to Polnareff, right? So that's what it is. Anyway, so I think that's one of the things going on there, and then the final the final escalation up to your credits is I think the weakest of the three.
Okay.
Because it's and the problem here is not that it's like not dramatic, and not that it's not done in a really cool way. It's done in a very cool way. But the first time it happened in P3, you didn't expect it at all, right? I didn't expect it at all, I should say.
So it's almost like by the fifth game, it's how do we top?
You're kind of doing the same thing.
It's also like how Liam is like, man, the ending of Bayonetta 2, the lead up and the final boss is like a 9. Unfortunately, Bayonetta's 1 was like a 12.
Right. Yeah. When you didn't know what you were getting into, it fucking rocks you. Right. And that I'll always feel that way about the end of P3. Okay. You know, the way it's the first time you get to experience this, like, well, for me, the first time I got to experience this like insane god battle where just dude is just like
getting wiped out,
monologuing at you as you're going on. And I mean, with the exception of like Digital Devil Saga, because that goes into some fucking crazy places.
Yeah, I've heard
with the Brahmin. But this though is it's only hurt slightly by the fact that you see it coming, because you're like, this is the way Persona games end.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, that's fair. Like,
it is cool though, because early on in like the Persona 5 like advertising and like marketing and such, there were some themes and concepts and stuff that they introduced that you kind of like were like, that's weird and I don't know what the fuck that's about, but okay. Mm-hmm. And then you go through this game and you kind of just get used to the whole Phantom Thieves and like sneaking around and being a cool suave debonair thief guy.
That stuff, like when I saw that reminded me of like old animes, like 70s, 80s, like reminds me of Lupin.
Yeah. So that's what's super cool is that one, your main character's persona is Arsène Lupin.
Okay.
That's literally who your stand is.
That's a pretty big reference.
Okay. 2, you're a phantom thief.
Right.
And in P4, there is the Detective Prince, the ace. Detective Prince is like a character that is like the Detective Conan style, young, solves everything, genius, 2000 IQ, right. Which is a number that doesn't even make sense, but that's what they used, and they were always like chasing after the Phantom Thief.
Yeah,
so this is the
bastard,
game, and there would just be a name that they just throw out there as like the counterfoil. You have your Sherlock Holmes and your Arsène Lupin. Right, and in this case, it's like you're now stepping into that role. So it's really fun in that way. It references something that you kind of read about a little bit earlier. And I guess it just it ends up going somewhere where you're like, this is still really cool, but we've done it. Mm-hmm. Outside of that, art, music, direction,
right,
S-links,
style,
aesthetics,
yes,
like actual best in a video game.
Okay.
I don't know, like I hate hyperbole, but there's nothing.
But we also use it tons,
and I don't give a fuck. Right now, there's nothing that holds a goddamn candle to the menu's presentation and music and sound and just feel of Persona 5.
I don't know. The universe hero?
Uh-huh.
No. Sango Fighter, Chaos Generation?
Hey, man, they're coming close, those
Clay
guys.
Fighter? No.
They're coming close. I'll tell you what, like, the sounds you make, it's not.
I know your sounds. I would know the sounds. Yeah,
you experience these new menus, right? And as it does all the things we like. What do we like? We like when we hear the leitmotif. We like when we hear the music, and it's a cool theme and it's a cool song, and then something happens and it gets slightly remixed, and then something happens and it gets slightly remixed again, and then when things pull up to their final confrontation, what do we get? We get the lyrics.
Yeah.
And you're just going and you're bobbing with the Shogi Meguro tunes the entire time.
I mean, it goes to even when we did Catherine, it was like, I think the first thing it said was like, man, what a great main menu. Like, it doesn't come up that much when you're actually playing the game, but like in the main menu of Catherine and just going around the options or whatever, like that part is like, you can see that this is their strength. Persona team.
No, absolutely. And so whenever they decide to, I guess the only, this is my only thing here is that like they do excellent work with the leitmotif in this game, right? Like they really have some cool like callbacks to the same songs and things like that. But like part of what made, for example, P4's like finale incredible was the ultimate version of that, the ultimate callback being like something that you heard earlier on in the game. So anyway, I'll get into the details once Pat gets back, you know, but
you appreciate a bit more.
Yeah, but holy fuck, man, what a good video game. Also,
okay, well, yeah, finish your point.
You can't, they're never going to make these games in a way that, unless you're skipping text and just blasting through it, not reading and not really, you know, enjoying yourself, or at the very least, like ignoring content on purpose. Yeah. You're not getting out of here in under 110 hours.
Right.
You know?
If you do the base amount, but enough to, like, it's not like a speed run, but it's like you have to look at least the main thing of the main bit of storyline. You're saying like it has to be at least 100.
At least 110, because my way of playing through the last two games was by I talk to everybody and I want to follow the
exhaustive dialogue.
Exactly, right? And so like and sometimes there's little characters throughout town that have ongoing storylines. You know, like there's a cool guy in this game that like he only works at night outside this club, and it's like the only black guy in the entire video game.
Oh, yeah?
And he works outside a club, and you go talk to him and he's trying to learn Japanese, and and the entire time he's kind of like, I'm having some trouble, but come inside, you know. And then like random like drunken salaryman would be like, what the fuck are you doing, you know, your Japanese sucks, you making fun of us, you know, or whatever.
No.
And then like he gets better and better at it, and
as the game goes on.
Yeah, but it's just a random NPC that you can ignore, you know. And so the game has bunches of little things like that where like this is a person standing in this spot at this time, and you can always go find out what they're up to. And as the seasons change, their little plot progresses.
Yeah.
You know? So, in this game, because there was like so much of that, I realized this is overwhelming. I will never be able to do it like I did in the last games.
Right.
So I just went for the couple that I liked, you know, hung around a few random people, and then did the main things by exhausting 2 activities.
So just give everyone the once over. Who's going to interest me? You're going to just
you
come
cool?
over
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
All right, you and me. I'm going to check you out until the rest of the game.
Exactly.
You, not so much.
Yeah, you go back to go down the street, and there's these two like pickup artists, like losers that are just talking about how to get girls, and they're super lame. And I'm just like, I have nothing interesting to get from you, you know. Okay. So you check in every once in a while, and then you just get like one of those things where towards the end, like the master's been teaching the student how to pick up girls.
Okay.
You know, and he's like, you gotta do this, you gotta use these words and whatnot. And then at the end, it's like, I've never actually picked up a girl, even though I'm the master. And then and the student is like, really? Because I've been using your techniques and getting results. And he's like, I'm sorry, I'm a fraud. You know, like, wow. You get like little weird things like that. But like, you know.
Like one day I hope to see a woman. Like what? Whenever I walk down alleys, they're not out.
Yeah, like
if I walk in the streets, they're just not there.
You know, and so you get that type of stuff going on. You know, if you want to get into those details, and these are all, of course, like again NPC plot, like completely ridiculously optional, super missable. You know, and there's tons of them. So that's not that much of a spoiler. Don't worry about that.
So really quickly, I wanted to ask before I forget this. Now that this is done, what is the next, like, all right, put time into this now game? Because so much came out.
It has to be Automata.
Yeah, for me too.
It has to be.
Because I asked on Twitter a few days ago, I was like, hey, I really want to play like an open world thing, kind of, but I don't want a huge time sink. And I was like, should I play Infamous Second Son or Infamous First Light? which is much like Assassin's Creed Freedom Cry.
Yeah.
It is a small chunk of that game.
With the paper girl.
With the cool girl that has like light speed and shit. And I played that for like an hour. I was like, oh shit, I actually really like this. And people are saying it's like 6-7 hours. Like, oh man, I want to get on that. So like once I've done that, because that's small, then I want to, jump into Nier Automata finally.
Yeah, I might take a weekend and just like rush to the end of FF15 because I didn't finish it. I stopped right dead in the cold in the middle because I was doing a lot. I was doing all the side missions.
Yeah.
Right, and I was doing them because I was having fun doing the little hunts. But like it got to a point where I was like, other things came out and I got distracted. Breath of the Wild, I think, is what broke me off of FF15.
I think it would.
And I just never went back in. So just to get it off my plate, I might just sit down one weekend and blast through that. Blast through that. But the next thing on the plate is it's got to be Nier, and I'm already like
because it saved platinum.
Yes, it did, and I'm already going through the LP to catch up on the old game right now.
Right.
So,
I forgot you were doing that.
So yeah, I guess that's me, and we'll hear more about Persona in the weeks to come.
Weeks and months to come.
Yeah, and if I haven't already said it till I'm blue in the face, it's all about Makoto. It's all about Makoto. That's the choice. That's who I went with. I did not cheat. I did not do any sort of infidelity. I kept my dirty Japanese penis to myself. And my favorite confidant line was Becky. I think Becky's confidant line is the absolute best in the entire franchise.
I like how confidant is the word to use for when you're like these group of like mischievous thieves. Like the correct term, like not friend, not like it's your confidant because it's a stylish sort of noirish word for that. Yeah, so it's fun.
Huge props to this game for the way there's a character Futaba. I'd give her like second easily because there's a character that's like the tech girl that kind of
everyone cosplays
your stats exactly and whatnot. And in game, she's an actual hikokimori. She's a shut-in that doesn't leave her room,
right.
Which is a real thing in Japan, right?
It's the realest thing.
And you have a character that is going through that for amazingly real and good reasons, and they work. Not amazingly good and real reasons. Amazingly well integrated into the plot reasons.
Okay.
And like it's not just for dumb purposes where like when you first hear about that you go, are they just inserting that because they just want to put this type of character in there? And it's like no, they did a fantastic job with her and her personality, and
it's not just there to be there.
And so her confidant line, her S-links as you would, are teaching her to leave at the house and be social,
like bit by bit.
And it's a super cool real feeling like this is something people go through, man, and it addresses it in a really good way. And I absolutely think that they did a fantastic job with that character. Okay. So fun stuff there. And I don't know. I mean, whatever. I'm sure there'll be other questions for favorites and things like that later on.
There you go.
We'll get to it.